I've been animating for about 7 years. I went from making movies that looked like this to this. Today I'm going back through my older Claymations, and it's not to roast them, but to break down what I learned from each era, and what I'd do differently if I remade them today. The first 5 I created was the Bush Creatures 1, the Deading, the Demented Family, It Came From the Snow, and since the Bush Creatures 1 did absolutely amazing numbers on my channel, like the best I've ever seen, I decided I had to make a sequel. So I bring you the Bush Creatures 2. But what do all 5 have in common? There's the issue of choppiness. All 5 have that, as well as bad lighting. There was me voice acting pretty much all the parts.
Oh my god!
The first 3 also had no script. I was just animating scene to scene with no real planning. Here's a quick little scene from the Bush Creatures 1. You can really tell there's no script. I mean, like, listen to this dialogue.
I'm not getting a signal. You won't get a signal out here. I'm gonna go check if the car will start.
Ugh, pretty rough. Anyway, I did learn some things throughout the original 5, like blood effects. For the first 2 films, I used red solid clay for the blood, and it didn't look very good. Then when I started to work on the Demented Family, I realized I needed to do better with, like, the gore effects. It wasn't the best in the Demented Family, but I did get better with each project. Yeah, by the way, the Bush Creatures 2 was like really violent. Like, that's the most violent I've ever been in an animation, to be honest. Now, let's move on to where my animations really started to show progress. I did 2 more Claymations before I took a huge hiatus, which I'll explain later. But these next 2 animations were made around the same time. A Different World was released earlier, but Empty Road was started first, so we'll start with Empty Road. I tried some new things with this Claymation. I mean, first off, I wasn't animating the mouths because I was sick of my characters starting out looking like this, and then moving to this. So I figured if I draw the mouth frame by frame, it would be good. I mean, it was a decent thing, but I don't think I'd prefer this method. Maybe for Legos and animating with handmade armatures, but the mouth drawing took forever. I also worked on set building and trying to make everything match up. I mean, obviously this Barbie car I had to use is way too big for the characters, but the sets look better overall than my last 5. And finally, I was able to make something without major choppiness and bad lighting. Yeah, Empty Road is a little dim, but it's still so much better than my other night animations. Like, look at this scene from It Came From the Snow. Both are supposed to be at night, and obviously the Empty Road one looks way more clear. Also, can we talk about the gore? I know I mentioned this earlier, but the blood effects got even better in this animation. I started to implement paint for the blood, like the little dark spots to give it more depth, and oh my gosh, it really paid off. I was so proud of this animation, and it was like something just hit me and my vision for what looked good changed. Like, I thought the original 5 animations looked amazing at the time. I remember showing them to my dad and being like, look how great this is. Obviously now I see the faults and I'm like, what was I doing? But that's why we keep going, because we keep improving as we make more and more things. This was a great show of progress, but it did have faults. I mean, I got really burnt out towards the end, and I just wanted to wrap Empty Road up so bad that I just started to rush it. I cut out some scenes I didn't find necessary, but that would have been cool to show. The scene, for example, was so rushed. In fact, I didn't want to animate the mouths anymore, so I just showed the opposite character than the one who was talking. But I had 2 voice actors drop out, so I was literally voice acting 2 women talking to each other, and my voice had gotten deeper at this point. So you couldn't tell who was saying what, and here's that scene.
I need you to promise me something. What? If I start to slow you down, you leave me. No! You hide me in a bush and you go. You do not risk your life for me. I will always risk my life for you.
I'll never forgive myself for that. That project was overall really good, and it was great improvement from my last ones. But now let's get to the really, really good one. A Different World. This was my last completed Claymation before like my big hiatus. It's actually my personal favorite. So I entered like a mini YouTube animation competition. It was like hosted by a Lego YouTuber who like does Lego animations. And he started this competition and he said I could use clay if I wanted to. So I did. There were some requirements, like it needed to feature zombies. It needed 1 unique kill, which is what I did here with the toilet seat. And finally, it needed to have at least 1 female character, and that's actually never been a problem for me. I think I actually only had a month or so to like make the entire animation. I remember being in high school and started writing like the script in my notebook. It's probably while I was being bored in one of my classes, not paying attention. I had to keep the story short, that way I had enough time to complete it. I like planned to make it a series, and I wish I did. It's just like when I took the whole hiatus, I stopped production on it. I had the first season written. Unfortunately, that was like a long time ago. I'll probably remake the first episode again just so I can continue it, because I no longer have the original clay characters, and I don't know, I just might either have to remake the characters or remake the first episode. Oh, and as I'm sure you can see, I started animating the lips again, but this time I did it like very gently, so the faces don't like deform by the end of the animation.
What a waste of time. Jeffrey, you stupid piece of shit. We would have gotten those supplies before the horde if you didn't go and fall into a pile of glass.
But like I said, nothing's perfect, and there was a flaw in this one, and that was simply because I'm a little OCD, and I originally was making a zombie animation, like probably like a year prior, and I had that footage still, but it was only like 2 minutes worth of footage. I really didn't want to lose out on that, like, stuff I worked on, and I don't like to waste, like, media of stuff I created, so I wanted to implement those 2 little zombie clips somehow into this one. I even remade the cops and then the girl in the yellow dress to fit like the modern look of it, just so I could film some more scenes with them to show like what happened to them. But by doing that, you can tell like the quality was before I started getting more advanced. So I put those at the beginning of this, the animation, but I think that made people click off because when they started watching it, they realized, oh, this is choppy or the characters look kind of bad. But then they didn't stay long enough to know about like how good the characters look later on. I will say there's like an epic sword battle with like one of the survivors in the horde of zombies. It's actually my most favorite scene I've ever created. If you made it this far in the video, thank you. We're almost done here, but I really want to mention the odd turn my channel sort of took. As you see, I animated with clay for so long, and then suddenly I released this. It was a Roblox animation using Moon Animator in Roblox Studio, which is like a plugin. And it didn't mean I was replacing clay, but I'm sure a lot of people saw it as that. It was more of a test to see what I could do with it. My channel just wasn't growing to the point I really wanted it to, and it still hasn't. And clay just took forever, and the progress I did for it just for the video to kind of flop kind of hurt. And I knew Roblox was popular, and I spent so much money on it back when I used to play it a lot. And I don't really play it now unless I have a friend to do it with for fun. So I didn't want all the money to go to waste that I spent. So I decided, why not animate with it and make it mean something? So I released 2 little parts to target practice on my channel. They were not the best. It was my first time using Roblox Studio to animate. And I didn't want people thinking like I just got in a game and walked around and filmed it and made that in animation. I don't judge people who do that because those videos seem to blow up like way more than those who actually animate. I physically would make the character move using the plugin Moon Animator, so it did take some effort. Plus I had to learn all about rigging props and the hands and things like that. I only posted 2 parts of this and then I sort of just disappeared. I moved out shortly after target practice released, and of course personal stuff happened, like depression. You know, I won't get into all that.
Please don't!
I just had no motivation to do anything. I put on so much weight and like I just started to hate myself even more. But like I would still buy stuff for like these future animations I planned to do, and I was just spending so much money on stuff that I wasn't even doing. And then finally, just recently, I released my next animation, which was Monsters Are Real. We'll get into that one in a second, but I just want to quickly mention that my current project I'm working on right now is a remake of Target Practice. I don't have any footage to show for that because it's on my PC since I upgraded to Premiere Pro, and I'm just using my phone for this short video. But it definitely looks more cinematic, and I completely revamped the story. I did work on a few short projects during my hiatus, but like I never posted them and I never completed them. So I guess you could say I was still sort of animating during, but not enough. Roblox won't always be my thing that I'm animating with. Like it did not take over clay. I will still be doing clay. The only problem is I live in a small apartment right now and I have a cat. So I don't have a place where I can set up an animation set without her knocking the clay characters down or messing up the set. I need to have a new place before doing that, which I'm hoping to get one soon. Now on to the last section of this video. Monsters Are Real was a project I started 3 years ago. I worked on it on and off, but I didn't really start grinding until this year, 2025. This one's definitely an upgrade from Target Practice, but it's still not as cinematic as I'd like it to be. You can still watch it because it's my most recent video after this one, so I recommend watching it. But I will say something I did great was actually investing in voice actors. So I wasn't playing most of the parts. I'll always at least play one character because I love to act and I wanted to be in movies when I was younger. It was my dream. My acting's gotten very rusty.
20 on pump 1, please.
But I'm trying to get back into it by voice acting again. Here, listen to all these different voices from voice actors.
Cheat on her too?
No,
You really hurt Jess, you know.
Watch it.
Sorry. Goddamn locals.
You're looking to get there faster, you should take the old Milburn Road. Cuts off at least half an hour.
The hell, Jess? Something was in the road.
Why didn't you go through it?
How can you be so heartless?
I don't have a phone inside.
Damn it!
I
I do have a truck out back. I could drive you folks to the nearest town and get someone there to help.
I'm overall proud of this one, just because it was like an upgrade from Target Practice, though the Target Practice remakes I'm currently working on look so much better than this one. It's kind of like a chain, like they get better as they go. But one thing I will say I didn't like about this one was how limited the blood can be on Roblox Studio. Like I really had to fight to make the kills look somewhat decent. So for the next Roblox animation, the Target Practice remake, I'm trying to use Blender for it and then like add like the layovers to like the background scene to make it look more realistic, like the blood. I just can't import it to Roblox because I don't want to get banned for violent uploads. With all that said, I think I'll be wrapping up this video now. If you prefer my claymations, just stick around. I'll be making more in the future, hopefully sooner rather than like later. I just like to appeal to multiple audiences, which is why I animate with Legos as well, and then Roblox. Once the Target Practice remake is completed, I plan to work on a new animation like stop motion, which is going to be an interactive murder mystery where you, the viewer, like vote on who you think the killer is, and that kind of determines the next episode. That one may be made with like wire armatures rather than clay, just because like if it's an episode type of series, clay characters don't typically last that long. So stay tuned for my next video in a couple of weeks. It's where I'll be talking about unreleased animations that I stopped production on. And if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. Bye!